Welcome, everyone, to Courageous Creative Conquerors. This is Jean Voice Dart. It's my belief that everyone has a gift of creative expression. We were born to express ourselves to stay healthy and happy. Whether you are planting a garden, writing a story, building a cabinet, sewing a scarf, or singing a song, what matters is expressing from the heart. And the creative and expressive arts are a healthy coping strategy that shifts us from trauma to triumph. So join me as we listen and learn key tips and techniques from our special guest and courageous creative conqueror. Our special guest today is Nwedabong Ubeng, recording artist, radio and TV host, and music teacher. Welcome, everyone. I'm Jean Voice Dart, and this is Courageous Creative Conquerors. And I'm here with my very special guest, all the way from Nigeria, Nwedabong Ubeng. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. Thank you for showing up.
Thank you so much, Jean, my friend, for bringing me up on this program.
I am just tickled so much. I can't stop grinning. So Nwedabong has a remarkable story to share. And I know that she's going to be inspiring all of you with her stories, with how she's such a giver. So I'd love for you to start off by just telling us a little bit about you growing up, where you live right now and how you grew up, what challenges you went through that made you stronger and made you a courageous creative conqueror.
Thank you so much, Jean. I have to thank you for making it possible for me to be here. I grew up, I was born to parents that couldn't make it together in life, and so they separated. And my mother took me to her village, so we were living with my grandmom, and my grandmom had other children, and so we were so many in the house. And somewhere along the line, I kept asking myself, why are we here in my mother's place? Why was it not possible for my mother to stay with my father? And I discovered that according to my mother, is that because she had female children, and here in this part of the country, we don't joke with male children. So if you give birth to only female children, you're out of the way. Nobody will take you as anything. Oh. But my mother was a strong woman, and so she decided to take care of us and make us something, become something.
So I just want to make sure I understand and that our listeners understand. This is such a powerful message. So are you saying that you were told that little girls born as a girl is not as important as being born as a boy, as a male child? Is that the way that you were raised? And your mother was kind of cast off because she gave birth to female children. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. And how did that affect you growing up with that understanding that was just generally accepted by the whole village?
My mother made us to know that what men are doing, that we can do it. But the first thing that we should do is for us to go to school. And so she made it possible for all of us. We were 5 girls that my mother had. I am
5 girls, my goodness. Okay.
Yeah. So she made it possible for all of us to go to school. You know, we went to school through primary school, went to secondary school, and then that time it was teaching profession that was a priority to the government. And so most of us that came from poor homes went to teachers training college so that we can jobs. As a teacher, you cannot lack job. So I went through teachers training college and then to College of Education and on and on and on. Eventually, I had my first degree, and I'll tell you more in the course of our discussion.
That's amazing. It sounds like your mother was such a strong person to raise her children, these girls, and to encourage them and support them to go to school.
She did it to a point, and my husband took over.
Yes.
When I met my husband during my College of Education days. College of Education, you have diploma in teaching.
So what age were you married?
21 years. When I was 21 years, that was when I got married. You know why I got married that early? Because where we grew up, that's my grandmother's house, we did not have peace. My aunties will talk, if you don't, nothing that we did was good. And so because of that, I was inspired to be something, to have a home, my own home. I shouldn't stay in. That was why I got married that early.
So there was something that you told me before we started too, that your father had multiple wives. Is that right?
Yes.
See, this is important to share. We're coming from a different culture here in the United States. So how did that affect you?
Yeah, because of that, I promised myself that I will never marry a man that is interested in having multiple wives. It took time to choose the man I married. In this part of the country, in this part of the world, marrying multiple wives is not a crime. It's allowed because we do a lot of farm work.
Yes.
The belief is when you marry so many wives, you just give them farms and they work and assist the man to get on. So, but I didn't like it. So I promised myself I will not marry a man that is into multiple wives. I had the first child I had was a daughter. And right from the birth, giving birth to her, she was rich. She came out through not from the head, but the legs, the feet. And I was lucky to be delivered by a Filipino doctor who was very good. And so he did it with ease. And right from that time, I started seeking for answers to so many questions. And after that, I had another one. Immediately after the first one, I had the second child, which was a girl too. And this one had some physical challenges. Physical challenge. She was born with one eye. Hey, what did I do that God has given me a child with one eye? I started asking questions. What do I do? I took her to hospitals. I took her to churches. You know why I was afraid, why I had the challenge, why I was so disturbed? Because I thought no man will marry her. I gave her love. I took care of her. And somewhere along the line, because of the love I had with my neighbors, somebody took me to a doctor, a medical doctor that fixed an artificial eye. And then my daughter says was okay.
It's all about love. These lessons that life gives us, the challenges that we received in this journey of life. You said it's all about love. And what lesson did you learn with that?
And I discovered nobody can give me happiness apart from myself. Learning how to love myself. And when I loved myself, I was able to love my children. I loved that my child that had one eye, I extended it to my friends and my neighbors. And because of the love I used to have for my neighbors, one of them directed me to this doctor that fixed my daughter with artificial eye.
And it seems like it wasn't really your daughter that was the problem. It was your reaction to her being born without one eye. So it was your healing of that attitude that, you were feeling like, what have I done? Why did God do this? And your fear that she wouldn't have everything that she needed in life, that she wouldn't have a husband. But it wasn't about her. It was just about you loving yourself. Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you. Well, let's take a look at some of the pictures of you and your family, beautiful family here.
Yeah, I am the first one there you could see. I'm the first one. The one that is smiling, the tallest of them all, is my first daughter. And the last one there, at the extreme end there, is the last one, my last daughter. My second daughter is not here. I have 4 of them, and my son is not here. The rest are my grandchildren.
Here's some more of your family here. Tell us about this.
Another set of my grandchildren, we just went for a walk.
You said that you became a credentialed teacher, a music teacher. And are these your students here?
These are the children that are born into families that are not well-to-do, let me say so. I love children, and one of the times, 2021, I think, yes, in 2021, I remembered how we used to suffer, my mother and my grandmother trying to buy the school needs for us, the basic school needs. So I had to go to that village, the school that I started my education.
You're such a community activist. You're so involved with your community, with your village, helping and all these programs.
With the help of the loved ones, we were able to provide them with what you have seen them.
Let's take a look here. This is more the same. Yeah.
Yeah. They were so happy, smiles on their faces. Every market day, we used to have market day. We will take the crops that we planted to the market. And from there, we would have money to buy shoes, have money to buy something. So I felt if I teach these children how to do this thing, they can take care of themselves.
Oh,
that's
wonderful.
why I taught them how to do it. This saying that says it's better to teach a man how to fish than giving him fish.
So that's very good. Tell us about, you mentioned that you are very involved in this corn, is it corn festival?
Corn is the first crop that is being harvested in this part of the world. So I did this to bring our people, the minds of our people, back to our cultural heritage. During the corn festival, we have music concert, we have a food exhibition, and then we have a art competition, we have song competition, dance competition during the festival. This one I collaborated with the university of my state, and it was very beautiful. You could see how colorful it looked.
Yes.
Everything that they do in the Faculty of Agriculture. It was very beautiful. It's always a very beautiful thing. This is one of the dances that is performed during the festival. We call it a bread dance. It's performed by women. Women that are clean, in those old good days. These are the things that they use in training the women. If you don't belong here.
So you're involved in the musical presentations at the festival. Yes.
I do it every year. This year will make it the 6th edition. I do this on television. I call it Music Maker. Yeah, it is every week. We do it two times a week. And
Two
then
times a
I'll
week.
talk, yeah, Wednesdays afternoon and Sundays evening.
Now tell me, how did you get into, I had a television program myself for a couple of years. How did you get involved with having this television program to teach people music?
Each time I find myself not doing anything, you know, I keep telling myself, you must do something. And when I wrote the proposal of this music maker as a teaching music on television, I knew that my people are not so much interested in doing music, should I say, music education. And so that was how I started. I wanted to make it easier for the next person. I always love making it easier for the next person. So
you're such a compassionate person, and you're always looking to make it easier and caring about others. And that's what I love about you. And you have no boundaries. You're not going to give up. If there's a fork in the road, you're going to try another way. I think it's very inspirational. So you have the festivals, you have your television program, and you also have a radio broadcasting interview here. Tell us about that.
This is a radio program. I call it Sparks of Life. It's all about encouraging people to keep charting their ways forward. And I told you that I have another radio program where I play some music, and then I talk about the music, the composer of that music, and the things that he used in making the music. And then I'll talk about the topical issues, some topical issues. I can talk about when you're down in heart. This is what you do. That's what you do. And then I will a song that talks about when you're down in heart. For example, this song that this man plays, is when you're down in heart, feeling small, you know. When I talk about something like that, I play the music that will fit the topic. So we used to call it, I call that program, that radio program, Lunch Time Out. And after playing
amazing. Wonderful. You're just so multi-talented and just an inspiration here. Let's take a look at this next picture here. Now you sang a little bit for us, and I would love for you to sing a song. And so you are a recording artist, and you also do music videos, and we're going to take a look at that in just a moment. But if you could sing a little bit for us, I know that everyone would love that, to hear you live. Could you maybe tell us what you're saying and then sing it in your language?
Yeah, the one I sang for my mother, the one I dedicated to my mother, the summary of it all is that children should respect their mothers, because mothers will suffer right from carrying them in their belly. You know, I called it belly in the song. That and then I went on to sing in English. Mama suffered with belly for 9 months. And when she born, that's so she prayed to God. She said, God, help my pikin, help him to grow well and live long for me. You know, that's the broken English.
I love it. I hear I hear a little rhythm in there too. Yeah, it's just so nice. Thank you. So what did that mean to you to write this song and dedicate it to your mother?
Okay. we had to look for a school that did music as a course. It was my mother that did all that. And she was able to stand by me. I remember one day, one man came to my mother and said, why do you allow your child to go and do a course for riffraffs? I did not understand the meaning of riffraffs. And my mother said, if other people are giving birth to riffraffs, who is she that shouldn't give birth to riffraffs?
Ha!
What that means?
We're going to take a look at this video now. And this is a celebration of women. And you're telling the women to stop complaining. And, you know, and so I'd love for you to kind of introduce it. I watched the video and it just is, I understood it, even though it's in a different language. It's just so common to get together with a bunch of women and just complain about life and how hard everything is and our husbands, and you're telling them something. So could you please share that and introduce this video, and then we'll play the clip.
Yeah. I was born into this environment that women were always complaining, you know, all their songs, they will talk about the man, they will talk about the and the rest of the stuff. So when I grew up, I now looked at all those music that they used to sing, complaining, and I discovered that the gist of every song was complaint. And I now said, what could stop these complaints? And I looked at the life of my mother, because my mother was very hardworking. She was able to be independent, you know. And what made her to be independent? Because she was able to use use her hands in doing something. Yes. She was a seamstress. She was a seamstress. She was a farmer. She was a teacher, you know. So she combined. And so after singing the way the women used to sing, complain, and I said, no, don't complain again. Find something to do, farm, sell, get yourself involved in doing something that will bring money to your hands, and you will stop complaining about this man.
Yay! Good advice. Okay, so let's watch the video. It's wonderful.
Iban ki to waba. Eset ki ban e ki se to wa. Tu e benesan ki ko ndibi ko mi. Ida on taranya ma ro iban. Iban ina ai to waba. Ida ki da ke nyong. Iyem se nam ku bok. I to nwang nyamudwa. Inam mo wem mo fo fon. Akpa wa do wa ukamayen. Eyendo buyo kuto fagat no kiwanga isa tete tetangan tung po soko amadia fodo buyo eyendo kuto fagat no kiwanga isa tete kayara patwa fongso mayang do fong fano eyendo buyo mbakara yoyo moku yoyo ba idogo foro boro mio ndito iwa nkakarata ma toba kwa nkekanga ma ton no diama udiaba idogo foro boro mio. Ayamun waita don don fondo ame beni de mado bene tenka yera fongebe awanya na mana yeno ebe no fongo diando ritong ari do kemio ebe ko songan sani swaita yena dam du wemo ya bong bogi swampo na me ebe nyena karo fa wana wanyina sianidan wanyin ku sianidan ke ebe nyena kerendara ke akbe maunong kanika terari ang inyo kampo miu manyo non yoro tanga kesena ku fogodo tu warokpa ebe mamio ndinam dio waidem yo. Ibani no yo. Quang cái gì đem bầu dày, nsi bà đi phòn đừng quang cái gì đem bầu dày, quang cái gì đem bầu dày, quang cái gì đem bầu dày, đã cô na cô cara vô phải, ayu, em brua, ayu, quang cái gì đem bầu dày, cái gì phòn, quang cái gì đem bầu dày. Ibana kwa ibo mene phone kwang ka gidem po yai ibana kwa ibo mene ya yao kwang ka gidem po yai ibana kwa ibo mene phone kwang ka gidem po yai anje ibani dakira anje edari fiore na masen anje ndukbaga sunado anje itoy wanga yamurwa anje yem sanam kubok anje kuti uberebe anje boy bedangado anje.
So let's acknowledge some of the people that help you with that.
The name of the village, the women are women of Afara Oku. Afara Oku. Can you pronounce it?
Afara Okuku. Afara Oku. Is that right?
Afara Oku women.
Okay. Wonderful. And they helped you. And then did you have a film editor helping you?
The film editor was Dr. Flens.
Okay.
Dr. Flens.
Oh, just so wonderful the way it was all put together and shifting from different film clips. And of course, I love the music. Very, very wonderful. And you write all your own music and perform it. And well, it's just been a joy having this interview with you, and we're going to wrap it up. I wish we could stay longer, but we have limited time. What words do you have for people out there that are talented and maybe don't have the financial means? Maybe they feel, oh, who am I? There's other people that are better, this or that. What words of encouragement do you have to tell people out there you can do it? I'd love for you to just take a moment and talk to them heart to heart.
You over there, I want you to know that you were created in a special way. God loves everyone. There is something in you that you can give. There's nobody that God has not given something to share with others. So look inside you and see what you can do best. What you do and feel very happy. That's what you can share with the world. In my own case, any moment, any hour, any time, I sing and I dance. And when I do that, I feel so happy. When I do that, I just feel loved. And I love sharing it with people. So every time I go to show, I tell people love is everything. And you start by loving yourself. Loving yourself means bringing out what God has given to you. And then love others by giving it to them, sharing it with them. That's exactly what I do. You too could do.
Wow. That's true wisdom right there. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful. Just start with loving yourself and loving God and giving that back out to the world. And there you go. And that's what you're doing. You're giving out so much to so many people, to children, adults, seniors, everyone. And thank you so much for sharing your life journey with us, for taking the time here that we could celebrate your mother here with us all together, and how she inspired you, and to share all of your gifts. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it today.
Thank you too.
And thank you to all of our viewers for joining us and supporting the expressive arts. And bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you next time. Bye. To see more Courageous Creative Conquerors videos, join the weekly creative community calls, or learn more about private sessions, visit JeanVoiceDart.com.